Greetings, salutations, and good now. I'm astrologer Kevis Major, doing it major. And in this evening's video, we're going to be talking about Moon in Capricorn. Capricorn Moon. Let's get into it. Now, Moon in astrology represents our mood. It governs the emotions, our intuition, the subconscious, and our inner workings. I like to say that the moon kind of represents our inner man's, our inner woman's, and our inner child. Moon reflects on how we nurture, how we seek comfort and comfortability, and just how we process our feelings. The moon also represents our instincts, again, intuition, taps us into our memories and how we react to, just the different obstacles, trials, and tribulations of life. Again, moon is associated with our inner child, so our childhood conditionings, our emotional needs, and how we experience internal security. When it comes to the moon taps us into, again, our emotions, our emotional resilience, emotional maturity, emotional discipline, intuition, and just our nurturing capacity. On a neutral tone, the moon represents our habitual responses, nostalgia, memories, and just our emotional rhythm. Again, when we talk about moon, we talk about moodiness, emotional instability, or just any internal or unconscious fears that we have. Now let's turn our sights onto Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which is the planet of discipline, structure, long-term goals, planning. It's the sign that is associated with ambition, responsibilities, perseverance, persistence, mastery. Capricorns value hard work, putting in that work, standing on business, tradition, but a lot about security, material security. Capricorn is yin yang or yang yin. It's the internal yang sign. Capricorn is all about initiating ways of getting or finding security, comfortability, a status, material, tangible results, anything to do with the earthy energy, and it's cardinal, so it's initiating and it's creating. So the Capricorn energy tends to be quite practical, serious, stoic, strategic, and Capricorns are masters of delaying gratification and reaping long-term rewards. And so, again, just to recap Capricorn energy, we have hard work and we have discipline, we have patience. On a neutral tone for the Capricorns, we have, status minded or status conscious, always thinking about, how they're seen, how they're perceived, their status in the society. Capricorn energy, quite reserved, stoic, structured, stable. But on a negative tone, Capricorns could be cold, rigid, and overly materialistic or superficial. So now let's do a bit of mental gematria. Let's put both Moon and Capricorn together, and we could see that Moon in Capricorn is all about creating new ways of finding internal emotional stability. Capricorn, again, emotions are filtered through Saturn's discipline. So this could create, a person who is quite composed, pragmatic, and just always seeking stability, always seeking structure, always seeking sheltering. Capricorn moon may not always express, what they're feeling openly to, everyone or whatever, but they have deep feelings. They have real solid feelings, um, and quite emotionally resilient, a lot of endurance. So Capricorns are going to, or the Capricorn moon is going to, see things through to the end. Capricorn moon tends to, process the emotions through logic. Again, Saturn being the sign of boundaries, limitations, also mastery through time. And so long-term thinking is always on the Capricorn moon's agenda rather than just, the immediate emotional releases. A Capricorn moon is quite resilient, um, responsible, and just emotionally strong, emotionally grounded. On a neutral tone, they could be a bit cautious, private. Earth signs tend to be a bit slow, but the Capricorn, because it's cardinal or initiating, they could be a bit, you know, impulsive, however, strategic. On a negative tone, uh, emotional, not so emotional, but a Capricorn moon could be cold or hard to penetrate. So Capricorns are slow to trust. It's hard to gain, their trust, not easily persuaded or influenced or manipulated. A Capricorn moon could just be over serious, like quite stoic, and again, hard working as ever. So now let's compare and contrast the difference between a Capricorn rising, a Capricorn sun, and a Capricorn moon. So when it comes to the rising deals with how you personally appear. And so, your outward appearance, the first impression that a person gets from you. Um, a Capricorn rising tends to appear disciplined, tends to appear serious. However, they could adapt to, different circumstances and situations. Um, when it comes to Capricorn moon, yeah, emotionally solid, emotionally sound, stable, and you know deeply committed to the task at hand. A Capricorn sun, however, is just focused on, you know tangible results, success, and just building a status. Again, the sun is how you're seen, how you perceive your ego, your actions. And so the sun wants to be seen, wants to shine, so building. But the moon is about, emotional security and just keeping the internal scene unlocked. Yeah. When it comes to, I guess, the more expressive side, a Capricorn rising, right? Again, dealing with how people perceive you, the first impression. They project an image of, again, resilience, image of reliability, dependability, control, authority. However, what I'm saying, put it to the test, you know, it may not be how they, came across in the first impression. Capricorn moons, very reserved, very stoic, um, quite nurturing, responsible, but quite slow to being social, slow to trusting, slow to letting someone in, um, very emotionally composed, but just a bit slow when it comes to being vulnerable emotionally. A Capricorn sun, hard working, very goal oriented, um, basically just a go getter, just enjoys, you know, doing things that bring tangible results and help them to build a status or build an image amongst the society. So the Capricorn Sun, in a nutshell, outwardly ambitious. The Capricorn Moon, internally sound, stable, structured, organized. The Capricorn Rising projects authority, projects reliability, projects control. So those are just the key differences between Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right, so let's conclude, shift our focus back to the Capricorn Moon. So as I'm experiencing Capricorn Moon about 15 degrees at the time I'm recording this, what is it, 11:20 here on the island of St. Kitts and Nevis. Some of you may call it Nevis. Yeah, the moon internal realm is just urging for me, urging for us to stand on business. It's screaming nurturing. It's screaming sparking, creating new ways of taking care of self, taking care of responsibilities, being responsible, um, emotional discipline, resilience, perseverance, maturity, long-term goals, delayed gratification, all of the stuff that we highlighted above. The Capricorn Moon is kind of urgent. Currently the moon is opposing Mars retrograde in Cancer. Mars is going to go direct in 2 days. Yeah, so the last bits of this retrograde. And so I think it's bringing more of the nurturing element, nurturing qualities, so we could find ourselves, nurturing self, people, places, things, circumstances, situations in our life. And so again, it's going to be aligned or predicated on our stability, our security, our sheltering. But there's a strong emphasis on nurturing at this point in time. The last few days of the retrograde before Mars slows down and starts to go direct, Mars speaks towards our mojo. I know this is not about Mars, but again, I think Tauruses and Virgos have that more caring quality to them, because mutable, fixated, the cardinal side of Capricorn could be less caring than the other earth signs, but their sense of wanting to have that status, again, Saturn and its rings, structure, stability, mastery, being the grandfather of time, they're seeking for that status. And so they have to persevere. They have to work harder to be consistent. Yeah. And so being able to take care of something one time, that's taking care. But over a long period of time, that's what you call nourishment or nurturing. So yeah, continue to persist, not only take care, but nurture self. And again, moon is shifting, the highlight or the focus internal. So make greater efforts to nurture the internal man, the internal woman's, the internal child. Major farewell until we meet or greet again. I'm astrologer Kevis Major, doing it major.